So these are for the R32, and I don't know why the guy didn't give them to me when I bought it, but he didn't. So these are type type M rear spats, and this one is cracked, and then obviously the giant hole in it isn't a good thing. But I ended up talking him into shipping them to me, because when I looked these up to try to buy them, they were like $300 some a piece from Japan or Australia. So this one's in pretty good shape. I think we're just gonna add some fiberglass to this hole just to strengthen it. You're supposed to sand this down to the bare fiberglass. I actually started sanding and I was like, screw this, and I used the wire wheel on a drill. I wouldn't recommend it if it's something really fancy, or if it's the outside of something that you're gonna see. Probably don't want to use the wire wheel, but this is the inside. It's just structural. I could have probably put these on the way that they were, but I don't want to. I'm gonna try to fix them first. So we're gonna see. It's been a long time since I've done fiberglass work, so we're gonna see what happens. But I just got a fiberglass repair kit. This specific one, it came with not very much fiberglass at all. You do go through a lot of resin, but I'm gonna do, I think I got like 3 or 4 layers here pre-cut. This is 3 layers. This is 3 layers. I'll probably have to put more than that, but that'll get us going for now. But it's pretty simple. I mean, all you do is you mix the resin, you add some hardener. I'm not sure what the parts, if it's 10% or whatever the case may be. You guys are on your own on that one. 8 to 12 minutes at 75 degrees. Mixing tray supplied. Estimate amount of resin needed to saturate fiberglass cloth. Ratio of resin to hardener is as Sorry about that, guys. The GoPro died, but the mix ratio is estimate amount of resin needed to saturate fiberglass cloth. Ratio of resin to hardener is as follows. For 1 ounce of resin, add 10 drops of hardener, or 6 tablespoons of resin with a 1/4 teaspoon of hardener. Make small batches at a time and mix more as needed. So we're pretty much going to take these directions and just totally ignore them. We're going to mix it all at once, because we don't have time for that bullshit. So one thing too, like I said, I'm not going to clean this up anymore. I cleaned it up, fairly well. I mean, you could see that it's pretty much fiberglass showing already. So the main thing is making sure that it's clean, to make sure that the fiberglass is going to stick to it. So what we're going to do is you could use brake cleaner, you could use gasoline. I'm going to use some paint thinner and try to find a decently clean rag, because I never have any clean rags. But I'm going to take some paint thinner and I'm going to wipe anywhere off where I'm putting the fiberglass, and we're going to see what happens. but I'm fairly confident. And this is just to clean the dirt and crap off of it to get it to adhere to the new fiberglass. But like I said, I'm pretty confident. And the funny thing is, I'm spending all this time fixing these things, and when I put them up to the car, I'm not even sure I like them. I feel like the car looks like it's missing something in the back, but I'm not sure because it's like they hang down so low. I don't know if I like it. But we'll probably put them on there, see what happens. If we don't like them, we don't like them. I plan on doing the R32 GTR front bumper and hood in the future, but I'm so all over the place, it's really hard to say. By the time we actually get to do something like that, it's like, you know, but that has nothing to do with the back bumper anyway, so. But yeah, these things were like $300, I think they were like $360, and the guy that I bought the car off of, he said, I'll send them to you, just send me enough money to buy a milkshake. And I was like, okay. So I think I paid for the shipping, and I sent him an extra $40. But they're already painted to match the car. They have the black vinyl that the car has. You know, obviously they're not in perfect condition, but I think we'll be able to make them work. So we're gonna find out here real soon. So this is 7.2 fluid ounces. That said, what did it say? For 1 ounce of resin, add 10 drops of hardener. The more hardener you put in, the quicker it'll dry. As long as it's there's hardener in it, I think it'll dry no matter what. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've done this, but I probably should measure it and do it like it says, but oh well. So that was like almost about 40% of the bottle, so we'll say 7.2 ounces. We'll say that's like 3.5 ounces. So if it's 10 drops per ounce, I have to poke a hole in this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So we put a little extra hardener in it. We're in Florida. It's actually a little bit cold tonight. I think it's like probably in the I'm from Ohio. It's funny saying cold, but I think it's probably low 60s. But you take it, you mix it up real good. Everybody has their own way of doing this. you're supposed to take a brush and brush it on, but typically I take the layers and I stick the layers together.
Two hearts.
And then I take the layers and I stick them together, and then I apply them. So we got this mixed up. Sorry, I got interrupted by the wife calling saying the dishwasher fell over, and then I tried to get the dog to come out, but like I was saying, there's multiple ways of doing this, but this is the way that we're gonna do it, and it's gonna work. You gotta be confident about what you're doing, always. I think these pieces go here. Okay. So, I'm gonna take this. I don't know if it's hard for you guys to see that with the GoPro. But we're gonna dip that in there like that. This is how I like to do it. Like I said, a lot of people brush it on in layers. You just have to make sure that it's saturated. So what I'm doing is I'm taking it and I'm basically more or less covering it up and making sure that it's saturating all the way through. Some people might say, you know, if there's a fiberglass expert out there, I might say this is the wrong way, but this is what works for me. So this is how I'm doing it. My first car was a first gen Mitsubishi Eclipse, and I broke the front bumper on it maybe 10 times and had to refiberglass it. So it's actually where I learned how to fiberglass at. Was my dad knew a little bit just from, you know, being a car guy and stuff like that. But so I'm gonna take this brush, I'm gonna brush some on here where my fiberglass is gonna go. I think I might have poured the perfect amount of resin. Alright, so that's wet, that's sticky. Alright, so now we're going to try to take our layer here, or a couple layers. We're going to try to lay it where we need it, which is the fun part. By the way, just in case you guys couldn't tell, I am not a body guy. I hate doing body work. I hate sanding. I can do body work. I've done body work, but I do not enjoy it. It's just never been something that I've liked. I absolutely hate it. So right there, that's 3 layers on there. Oh, it's probably a little bit too much resin. But what we'll do is we'll trim, once this dries, we'll trim any excess off. But 3 layers, I think already, just from looking at it, we're gonna need a couple more layers, but at least we'll get our base layer down. And it is a curved spot, so it is gonna be a pain in the butt, but this is what it looks like from the other side. Now the next one's gonna be harder because I think I'm gonna have to use a clamp to clamp that crack down there to keep it closed, or I'm gonna do a little bit at a time. It's kind of difficult because we're not doing it on the car, so we don't know if this crack, you know, if it needs to go this way, so it's gonna be a little bit difficult, but we're gonna put 3 layers just like we did on that one. Start with that, see what happens, and go from there. And by the way, doing fiberglass is always fun, so make sure you are prepared for that. Yep, I put too much hardener in it, it's already starting to dry. Damn, it already dried. I think I just ruined all that resin. That was fast. Look, I put too much hardener in it. Like I said, not a body guy. Make sure we make that perfectly clear. And by the way, any local parts store will have this stuff, but I ordered this off Amazon, and you know, on Amazon it's really hard to tell how much comes in it. I think it said something like how many square feet or whatever, but you might, if it's your first time, you might want to get like the bigger one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we put a little extra hardener in it. It's a little bit cold, so I think the extra hardener might be a little bit better, but obviously I just wasted a bunch of resin and hardener, so. But yeah, any local parts store should have this. Your AutoZone, your O'Reilly's should have a fiberglass repair kit, or you can buy the fiberglass mat separate and the resin and the hardener separate. It seems like every time I buy these kits, I have hardener left over. I don't know why, but that's kind of how it seems. This will probably dry pretty fast too. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to clamp this one, but we shall see. So that crack is filled. What I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna try to wipe my hands off. And I'm gonna try to clamp that shut. I tried to do it beforehand and it didn't really work out the way that I had anticipated. But I'm thinking if I use this bag to clamp it shut, maybe we'll do it this way. Maybe we'll push it up against that and put something with some weight against it. Because I want that crack to be closed whenever whenever that fiberglass dries. So we'll take this can of paint thinner, put that up against it. So I think that looks pretty good. They're definitely gonna need another layer, but it is what it is. Sorry about the GoPro going everywhere, guys. I got it plugged into a charger because it died. And this one, I probably could have left this one alone, like I said. But I just want to reinforce this. See how big the hole is. So I'm assuming that there's a reason that the hole is so big. So I figure if we reinforce it and we give it something to hold on to, it may be better. So probably gonna have to put some more resin in this by the looks of it. Yep, we're gonna need some more resin. I'm just gonna dump it right on there, just a little bit. And then we're gonna measure out to the exact ounce. Not really. What do you guys think? 3 drops? I think that was like 6, but I wasn't counting anyway, so. Probably should have put it at the end so I could mix it up better, but. Like I said, this one I probably could have left it and it would have still been fine, but I wanted to reinforce that hole a little bit. And then afterwards, obviously, I'm gonna end up putting these on the car. I'm not gonna like have the car painted or have these painted. I'm gonna put them on as is. They already match the car. So what I'll do is, if you can see any of the things that we fiberglassed, what I'll do is I'll just spray them, rattle can them, whatever color, you know, whatever color I think matches. But that's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, when that dries, that'll be easy. You know, you can cut it, grind it, sand it. But when this stuff dries, it should end up being like this. So probably do a couple more layers on the other side. We'll see how it dries, but I don't think 3 layers are gonna be enough. Maybe I should have done 5 now instead of having to redo it, but regardless, I think it's gonna turn out okay. And hopefully it looks good on the car, because like I said, I'm not even sure. It's like this part right here hangs down like really far behind the back tire, and I don't even know if I like it. But we got them, so we'll put them on there, and if we don't like it, maybe we'll have to wide body it. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know why, I swear every time I do this, no matter what, I always have hardener left over. My container's a little bit too small today. That might have screwed us a little bit, but yeah, I think we could be screwed. Now we're gonna try for the inside of this, which which is going to be difficult because I have fiberglass all over my hands. I don't want to get a whole lot all over the black. Like I said, you'll probably never see it, but I still, if I can help it, I don't want to get it on there. I was skeptical about doing this little piece, but that wasn't too bad. I'm gonna put one more on the back of this. It's probably not necessary, but actually the first time, or the first layers that I did, I should have just folded it instead of cutting individual pieces and stacking them. I should have just folded them like I did this one. I don't know why I didn't do that. You ever hear that saying, work smarter, not harder? I guess I just learned that one. But it's a lot easier that way. Flip this around so you guys can see it. It comes with a little squeegee for you to get all your bubbles out, you know, just like if you were doing vinyl. or, you know, spreading Bondo. I'm not using it because, like I said, it's on the back of it. You'll never see this. This is just for structural purposes. But all that looks good except for that one piece. It looks like I didn't have enough resin on it. This one probably could have just left it the way that it was, but we're gonna put another layer on it. This one was just the hole was so big, and you know, I don't want them to be moving around. I want them, you know, if I'm still not even sure I'm gonna put these on the car because I'm not sure I like the way that it looks. It definitely looks like it's missing something, but because of the side skirts, and then the front bumper has a lip on it. But eventually I would plan on doing a GTR front bumper, but the side skirts and stuff still, and the back are gonna be there. So it just the way that the car is, you could see where this used to be, and I think it looks like it's missing something. So we're gonna switch gloves real quick, mix up just a tiny little bit more of this. And then we're gonna call it. And then after that, I'll trim it if there's anything that needs trimmed. Paint that little spot on this one. And then send it. It would have been much easier and much better if I would have used a bigger container, but last night we didn't clean out the container that we used, so I mean, it still worked, but ideally you would have wanted it, you know, to actually fit, believe it or not. Well, that's it. Let it dry, and then we'll probably tomorrow we'll probably put them on the car and see how it turns, or see how the car looks. But that I actually might have to sand that one down a little bit. It may not fit on the it'd be like the inner fender well on the rear of the car where this mounts. That may be a little bit too thick, but we'll see. So this is how they turned out. They turned out pretty good. Like I said, it'd be different if, you know, you were fiberglassing something from scratch, or you know, typically you'd end up sanding that and painting it, and you know, we're not going to do all that stuff. You'll probably never see this anyway when it's on the car, so we'll rattle can it black or whatever, like I said. But I'm gonna try to fit a couple small pieces in there on this side, but we're not gonna do the putty and, you know, trying to make it perfect. I'll tell you that right now, because you're never gonna see it. And on the other one, it was just structural. Anyway, this one probably didn't even have to do, but let's put the second layer on, and then that'll be it. Like I said, I'll have to sand a little bit here and there, but your situation may be different, so. And it is very, very messy, like I said, so be prepared for that.